Highlands High School. Today, we will be honoring our seniors for our Senior Day festivities. First, we would like to take one moment to honor the seniors that are here from California High School. Peyton Conti, Brody Connor, Jacob Pictol, and Matt Trunzo. Congratulations, seniors from California School District. And now for our LH Senior Mustangs. Our first senior is number 16, Nick Kumar. Nick is being escorted by his parents, Pam and Larry Kumar. Nick plays shortstop and pitches. He enjoys hunting and fishing outside of baseball. Nick will be attending Marietta College in Ohio to study petroleum engineering. And he will also be a part of the Pioneers baseball team. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Kumar. Our next senior is number 26. Lorenzo McFadden. Lorenzo is being escorted by his mother, Tara Rose, and his aunt, Julie Scarborough. Lorenzo plays first base for the Mustangs. He enjoys working on cars with his pap outside of baseball. He will be attending California University of Pennsylvania to study criminal justice. Ladies and gentlemen, Lorenzo McFadden. Next up is number 11, Brett Lemansky. Brett is being escorted by his parents Holly and Bart Lemansky and sister Bailey. Brett plays in the outfield. He enjoys fishing and lifting weights outside of baseball. He will be attending Penn State Fayette campus and studying engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Lemansky. Next up, number 24, Zach Koffler. Zach is being escorted by his parents, Kathy and Ray Koffler, and brother Ethan. Zach plays first base for the Mustangs. He enjoys hunting and fishing, hanging out, and watching sports. Zach will attend business school at West Virginia University. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Koffler. Next up, number 10, Carson Broadwater. Carson is being escorted by his parents, Lori and Tom Broadwater. Carson plays outfield and he pitches. He enjoys watching college basketball and video games. Carson will be attending Robert Morris University to study actuarial science. Ladies and gentlemen, Carson Broadwater. Our next senior, Jace Hampy. Jace is being escorted by his parents, Lisa and Mike Hampy. Jace plays outfield for LH. He enjoys being a volunteer firefighter. He enjoys fishing and wakeboarding outside of baseball. Jace will be attending California University of Pennsylvania, majoring in police technology. Ladies and gentlemen, Jace Hampy. Last but not least is number 15, Jake Fleshar. Unfortunately, Jake is not able to be with us today because he is in quarantine due to contact tracing. Jake is the son of Jen and Donnie Fleshar. Jake plays outfield for the Mustangs, and outside of baseball, he does enjoy video games. Jake will be attending Robert Morris University to study business. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jake Fleshar.
Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, welcomes you to the South Union Township Sports Network. Today, live streamed from the Thomas Lamon Field at the Laurel Highlands High School, it's the Laurel Highlands Mustangs taking on the California Trojans. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Anola with Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for today's game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and CUTV with Gary Smith. I'm Tony Anola with Jerry Dupay, and we will be back with the starting lineups for both teams right after these messages. Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, welcomes you to the South Union Township Sports Network. Today, from Thomas Lamon Field, the home of the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, the Laurel Highlands Mustangs will be taking on the California Trojans via live stream. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Rick Vernon, Bob Schiffbauer, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and CUTV with Gary Smith. I'm Tony Hanola with Jerry Dupay, and we will be back with the starting lineups for both teams right after these messages. California.
Are those guys ready? Where's our, there you go. Good afternoon and welcome to Tom Lamon Field on the campus of Laurel Highlands High School. Today's game pits California Area High School versus Laurel Highlands. The lineups for today's game. Batting first and pitching for California, Connor Vig. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 20, Peyton Conti. Batting third and playing first base, number 15, Brody Connor. Batting fourth, number 11, the third baseman, Jacob Pichtel. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 6, Jordan Kearns. Batting sixth, number 21, the right fielder, Fred Conrad. Batting seventh, number 2, the second baseman, Hunter Assad. Batting eighth, number 13, and catching, Don Martini. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 17, Chris Weston. The non-roster players today for California are Jacob Touchman, Brody Todd, Jacob Ross, Cameron Scripp, Addison Panapinto, Jesse Byrne, Paul Coles, Matt Trunzo, Caden Powell, Donnie Deems, Spencer Petrucci, Aiden Loudon, Drew Thomas, and Paul Coles. The head coach is Lou Pasquale, and he is assisted by Aaron Bala and Neil Forsythe. And now for your home team, Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Batting first, number 12, and playing center field, Jace Hampy. Batting second, and playing third base, number 9, Ty Sankovich. Batting third, number 16, and playing shortstop, Nick Kumar. Batting fourth and pitching, number 18, Alex McLean. Batting fifth, number 24, and playing first base, Zach Koffler. Batting sixth, and playing second base, number 1, Joe Chambers. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Lorenzo McFadden, number 26. Batting eighth, number 11, and playing right field, Brett Lemansky. And batting ninth, number 10, the left fielder, Carson Broadwater. The non-roster players today for the Mustangs are Carson D'Amico, Caden Early, Jake Fleshar, CJ Guest, Braden McKnight, and Braden O'Brien. The Mustangs are coached by Scott DeBerry and assisted by Mike Smith, Joe LaPresta, and the scorekeeper is Paul Kania. And now, to honor America, we ask you to please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and join Bella Wilson for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Bella. He said we're playing Beaver. I didn't even know that. Well, we're, I guess, four seed we played. Well, four of them get by, so we're the first. Three of them. Yeah, oh, sorry. Oh, okay, Jeff. Oh, okay. Very good. I don't know.
Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. We're getting ready for the first pitch between the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and the California Trojans. Let's set the defense for the Mustangs. Let's go around the horn. Starting at third base will be Ty Sankovic. Shortstop today, senior Nick Kumar. Playing second base will be Joe Chambers. Playing first will be senior Zach Koffler. Playing the outfield left to right will be left fielder Carson Broadwater. Center fielder Jace Hampy and right fielder Brett Lemansky. All seniors. Behind the dish will be Tristan McCoy. And getting the start today for the Mustangs will be junior Alex McLean. The batting order for the California Trojans leading off will be pitcher Connor Vig. Batting second will be shortstop Peyton Conti. Batting third will be first baseman Brody Connor. Batting cleanup will be Jason Pichtel playing third base. Batting fifth will be center fielder Jordan Kearns. Batting sixth will be right fielder Fred Kennard. Batting seventh will be second baseman Hunter Acid. Batting eighth will be catcher Dom Martini. And batting ninth will be Chris Weston playing left field today. So here's the first pitch from McLean, pitching from the stretch. First pitch to Vig, a little bit high, ball one. The Mustangs come in after a tough loss yesterday to Albert Gallatin, whereas the California Trojans come in with a 10-game winning streak, having lost 3 of their first 4, but winning their last 10 games. Both teams will be in the playoffs. Starting on Wednesday, the Laurel Highlands Mustangs will take on Beaver, and that game will be played at W&J College. Here's the pitch. McLean just a little bit high. McLean looking to find the zone. As we said, the Mustangs were seated 5th in Class 4A. There's a pitch and a take all the way by Vig. Count now 3-1. California likes to steal bases. They've stolen 51 bases as a team so far this year in only 15 games. Here's the pitch, down and away. So Vig reaches base on a walk, and that's going to bring up Peyton Conti. Conti comes in batting .449, 1 home run, and 19 RBIs,
Next up, the shortstop.
22 hits on the season. And Conti, one of the 4 seniors on this California team here today. Here's the pitch from McLean. Big running. Shot down by McCoy, overthrown, but nice back up there by Joe Chambers. So Vig picks up his 10th stolen base of the season. As we said, the team likes to run. They were 51 for 56 stealing bases this season so far. You can see that first pitch running by Vig. And setting up Peyton Conti to try to drive in his 20th run of the year. Here's the pitch by McLean. High and away. McLean trying to find the strike zone. Conti to be followed by Brody Connor. McLean gets the sign. Sets and deals. There's a pitch taken by Conti all the way. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Chambers and Nick Kumar cheating to the infield to the middle. There's a hit by Conti to left field. Broadwater going to set? No, it's going to be Jace Hampy settling under it. So Conti gave it a ride, but Hampy records the first out. And that's going to bring up Brody Connor. Connor, also a senior, comes in batting .364. 1 home run, 22 RBIs on the year. So he's been extremely productive for the Trojans. So there's 1 out. Vig remains at second base. Brody Connor to be followed by Jacob Pichtel. And here's the pitch by McLean. Down and in, ball 1.
First baseman, number 15, Brody Connor.
So Connor ahead in the count, 1-0. That's the 8th pitch thrown so far today by McLean in his first inning. There's the pitch, high and away. 2 balls, no strikes. The Mustangs come in with a 12-5 overall record. They were 9-3 in Section 3-4A. California comes in with a similar record. They were 12-3 overall, 8-2 in Section 1-2A. Came in second place in the section, similar to the Mustangs. The Trojans finished second in the section to Carmichael's, who comes in as the number 3 seed in Class 2A. McLean going to give Vig a look, but really doesn't have much of a lead out there at second base. Vig with only about a 3-step lead. There's a shot. It's going to get down. Hampy to cut it off. He's coming up throwing. They're going to send Vig anyway. No, they're going to hold him up. Third base coach going to hold him up there, but nice shot there by Brody Connor to pick up the hit. So now runners on the corners and 1 out, and that's going to bring up cleanup hitter Jason Pichtel. Pichtel comes in batting
Up next,
.256
third baseman, Jacob
on the year.
Pichtel, number
No home runs and 10 RBIs. And as we said, this California team likes to run, although Connor was not credited with any stolen bases so far this year, but would not be surprised to see him take off on the first pitch, especially with Vig over at third. So runners at the corners, only 1 out. The pitch by McLean right down the middle for a strike. Pichtel taking all the way. Koffler holding the runner. Connor at first. And McLean trying to get out of a little bit of a jam. The Mustangs, interestingly enough, are 8-0 at home and struggled on the road, finishing 4-5 for the year. So home field advantage has been good for the Mustangs this year so far. Connor with a decent lead at first. Here's the pitch by McLean, down. Count now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Only 1 out, as we mentioned. Vig led off with a walk. Conti flew out to center fielder Jace Hampy, and Brody Connor with a single to center. And a nice job by Hampy to get to the ball quickly to keep the runner at third base. Here's McLean trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here today. There's a pitch, fouled back by Pichtel. Count goes now to 1-2. 1 out in the top of the first inning. Trojans at their first at bat, the Mustangs on senior day, trying to pick up a key win going into the playoffs. And there's a dribbler down to shortstop Kumar. He goes to second, gets the force. Chambers can't make the throw back, so Vig's going to score easily. And California gets on the board 1-0. Connor Vig scoring the run on the fielder's choice by Jacob Pichtel.
Up next, the center fielder, Jordan Kerner.
Connor's
number
going to
6.
be out 6-4. So that leaves Pictou at first with 2 outs, and Jordan Kearns, the center fielder, coming to bat. Kearns batting .450 on the year, no home runs and 11 RBIs. There's a strike by McLean. 2 down, 1-0. The Trojans striking first here in the top of the first inning, and he picked him off. Wow. He caught Pictou leaning just a hair. First base umpire Dan Butler calls Pictou out. So, in the top of the first, there 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. After half inning of play, it's the California Trojans 1, and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs coming to bat on the South Union Township Sports Network.
In the top of the first inning, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. The Mustangs coming to bat in the first inning, Chase Hampy, Ty Sankovich, and Nick Kumar.
South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be live streaming today's Laurel Highlands baseball game. The Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist SWGI in Uniontown, Zebly Mahalovan White, Uniontown's Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, and the UPMC Centers for Rehab Services in Uniontown on Wayland Smith Drive. Jim Burns as the director. So the Mustangs coming to bat, and we'll go over their lineup quickly. Leading off will be center fielder Jace Hampy. He'll be followed by Ty Sankovich, the third baseman. Batting third will be shortstop Nick Kumar. Batting cleanup will be pitcher Alex McLean. Batting fifth will be first baseman Zach Koffler. Batting sixth, second baseman Joe Chambers. Batting seventh will be designated hitter Lorenzo McFadden. Batting for the catcher Tristan McCoy. Batting eighth will be Brett Lemansky playing right field. And batting ninth will be left fielder Carson Broadwater. Setting the defense for Cal Trojans. Around the horn, Jacob Pictou at third. Peyton Connie at short. Hunter Acid at second, Brody Connor at first. Outfielders, left field will be Chris Weston, center fielder Jordan Kearns, and right fielder Fred Kennard. Behind the dish is Dom Martini. And on the mound today for the Trojans will be Connor Vig. So Vig, first 2 pitches, falls behind in the count, 2-0 to Jace Hampy. Hampy comes in .294 average for the year. No home runs, no RBIs. But has done an excellent job for the Mustangs in the leadoff spot. So now 3 balls, no strikes. Sorry, that last pitch was called a strike. So now 3 balls, 1 strike. And here's the pitch to Vig. Hampy's going to take that. Vig catches the outside corner and runs the count full to 3-2. The Mustangs, as we said, lost yesterday to Albert Gallatin at German Masontown Park. There's the payoff pitch, just a little bit outside, and Hampy is going to work a walk. So the Mustangs also get their leadoff batter on in the first inning. Brody Connor is going to hold Hampy at first. That's going to bring up Ty Sankovich. Sankovich has been hot lately. Batting .400 on the year, no home runs and 11 RBIs. Here's a dribbler. It's going to go foul. Sankovich has done an excellent job taking those outside pitches to left field. Left-handed batter. Going with the pitch a few times the last couple games against Uniontown and the Albert Gallatin Colonials. And getting hot at the right time for the playoffs. Coach DeBerry coaching third. Mike Smith at first. And there's a shot just over the glove of Conti. Actually hit off the glove. Sankovich is going to get a single, but Hampy was running on the pitch, and he's going to make it to third base easily. Conti jumped just a little too soon. And that's going to be a single for Sankovich, the first hit of the game for the Mustangs, but more importantly puts runners on the corners at first and third with nobody out. And that's going to bring up the senior Nick Kumar, shortstop, the Marietta recruit. So Nick looking to have a big senior day here. 1-0 California leading the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. We're in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Kumar down in the dirt. Ball 1. Sankovic would not be surprised to see him take off on this pitch. Connor's holding him. Vig checks the runner. There's the pitch. It's going to be down and away, and he's going to get the second easily, and more importantly, Hampy's going to score. The ball got away. So the Mustangs on the board quickly. Hampy walking, going to third as he was taking off on the pitch on the Sankovic single, and scores the first Mustang run. So that's going to put Sankovic at second base with nobody out. And Nick Kumar trying to pick up his 17th RBI of the year. Nick comes in batting .511 on the year. 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. Sankovic with a decent lead at second. There's a pitch from Vig outside. Now the count is 3-0 to Nick Kumar. Alex McLean waiting patiently on deck in the cleanup spot. There's a pitch from Vig. Just a little bit high, and that's going to give Nick Kumar a walk. So the second walk of the day for Vig. And the Mustangs now with 2 runners, first and second.
Alex McLean.
And McLean coming to bat. McLean batting .444 on the year. No home runs, but 15 RBIs. He's looking to put the Mustangs ahead. First pitch to McLean was a strike. As we said, senior day here. Nice crowd. The Mustangs honoring their 7 seniors, and California has 4. Swing and a miss by McLean. So no balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Mustangs looking to capitalize on a couple walks and a hit. Sankovic at second, Kumar at first. McLean is going to go down swinging. So that's the first strikeout for Vig today. And that's the first out of the inning. So now, Zach Koffler. Koffler's been hot as well the last couple games. He and Sankovic have been swinging a hot bat for the Mustangs. He's going to have a chance here with 1 out. That ball's going to get away from the catcher, Martini. It's going to advance the runners. So now Sankovic at third base, Nick Kumar at second. And again, another nice scoring opportunity here for the Mustangs. Only 1 out. Koffler coming in, .282 average on the year, 1 home run, 13 RBIs. Vig again from the stretch. There's a shot down to third. Nice play by Pichtel. And a nice throw over to record the out on Koffler. Beautiful play there by Jake Pichtel. Showing off a nice arm over at third base. So he records the second out of the inning. Sankovic is going to have to stay at third. So now with 2 outs, Joe Chambers comes to the plate. Chambers, the junior, hitting .262. No home runs, 11 RBIs. Joe pitched a perfect game this week for the Mustangs against the Uniontown Red Raiders, defeating the Raiders 10-0 in 6 innings. Maybe the first perfect game in Laurel Highlands history. First pitch to Chambers is a strike. So Vig trying to strand a couple runners here to keep this game tied at 1. California Trojans, as we said, they'll be playing Shady Side Academy. Nice pick there by Martini. Sankovic was eyeing the situation up. If that ball would have got past him, I'm sure he would have given it a try with his speed. So here's the pitch to Chambers. Breaking pitch just a bit outside. So Vig now with the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs. Here's a pitch to Chambers. Pops it up. Could be trouble. Kind of in no man's land there. Second baseman Assad going to drift back and makes a nice catch. So nice play there by the second baseman, Hunter Acid. So he records the final out. So in the first inning for the Mustangs, 1 run on 1 hit. No errors. 2 runners left on base. So after 1 inning of play, it's the California Trojans 1 and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs 1. And we'll be back for the first pitch in the top of the second inning right after these messages on the South Union Township Sports Network. Bernie Maniac. Yeah, that is Bernie Maniac. Oh, my God. I thought he retired. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Didn't want to blow anything. All right, welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. We're chatting with first baseman umpire Dan Butler, who was telling me that he was behind the plate umpiring for the game against Uniontown whenever Joe Chambers threw his perfect game. He said he was sweating bullets, didn't want to miss any calls out there, but obviously did a nice job. Today's umpire behind the plate will be Bernie Maniac. So Bernie Maniac behind the plate, Dan Butler at first. Leading off the top of the second inning for the California Trojans will be Jordan Kearns. Will be followed by Fred Kennard and Hunter Acid. Kearns comes in, the .450 average, no home runs, 11 RBIs, and he was at bat when Pichtel got picked off to end the first inning. Strike taken down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jordan Kearns. Alex McLean comes out for his second inning of work. Unofficially, I had him at 15 pitches in the first inning. There's a pitch just a bit inside. Almost got Kearns. McLean pitching from the stretch. Have activity already in the Cal bullpen. This is a non-section game. Looks like Brody Connor out there warming up for the Trojans. So we said a non-section game, senior day for both teams. Here's a pitch from McLean. Strike right down the middle. Gets ahead in the count now. I'm sorry, 2 balls, 2 strikes. McLean sets and deals. There's a shot pulled foul. Almost got the cameraman down the third baseline there. Kearns with a nice job getting on top of that fastball. Not exactly sure how he did that, but pulled it foul down the left field line. Put the Cal player to work who's protecting the pitcher. Brody Connor warming up down there. There's a breaking pitch. Looks like it slipped out of McLean's hands a little bit. So now the count going to be full to Jordan Kearns. On deck is Fred Kennard. There's the payoff pitch from McLean. Nice job by Kearns to foul that pitch off. Might have been ball 4, but he was able to get some wood on it. As we said, both of these teams will be in the playoffs next week. Here's the payoff pitch. Again pulled foul down the left field line. Kearns battling McLean here. Already has a 7-pitch at bat. Payoff pitch. Breaking pitch. Connor sends it to center fielder where Jace Hampy settles under. I'm sorry, that was Kearns. Kearns sending it to center fielder Jace Hampy for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Fred Kennard. Kennard playing right field today.
Fred Kennard.
Kennard comes in with a 300 average, no home runs. 10 RBIs on the year, the junior. Only 4 seniors on this California team. Matt Trunzo, Jacob Pichtel, Brody Connor, and Peyton Conti.
Got hit.
And Kennard's going to be hit by a pitch. So he's going to reach base safely here. And that's going to bring up Hunter Acid. So now 1 walk
The second baseman.
for
number
McLean.
2,
And he also has a
Assad.
hit batter. So here comes Hunter, second baseman. Made a nice play to end that first inning from the left side of the plate. 421 average. No home runs, 17 RBIs. McLean trying to keep Kennard close. McLean was able to pick off Pichtel in that first inning to end the inning. Kennard with about a 3-step lead. There's a pitch high and away. McLean missed badly on that pitch. Nice job by McCoy to corral that pitch in. Koffler holding the runner, Kennard. McLean to the plate. Evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. There's 1 out. We're in the top of the second inning and tied 1-1. The Mustangs and the Trojans. McLean going to throw over, keeping Kennard close. Kennard gets back safely. McLean with the pitch, called for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to second baseman Hunter Assad. Don Martini, the catcher, waiting on deck. Here's the pitch, curveball high and away. McCoy with the throw down, but Kennard gets there easily. So Kennard with the stolen base. And as we said, the Cal Trojans like to run, no doubt. Coming into this game, they were 51 of 56 in stolen base attempts. And that's going to be Kennard's 8th steal on 8 attempts, so he hasn't been picked off yet this year. So runner in scoring position for the Trojans. With the sod now, the count is full at 3-2. Only 1 out. They're going to try to pick him off and nearly throw the ball into center field. Looking a little daylight play there, but almost a lot of daylight for Kennard there to run if that ball goes into center field. Kumar faking Kennard back. There's a pitch going to be called on the outside corner. So Assad goes down looking. That's the first strikeout of the day for pitcher Alex McLean.
13,
That's going to
Don
bring up
Martini.
catcher Don Martini. Martini, 303 average on the year. No home runs, 11 RBIs. And trying to pick up his 12th here. Doesn't want to strand Kennard on second base. First pitch was inside. So ball 1. Martini in the 8th spot today for the Trojans. Kennard not with a very big lead at second. There's the pitch. Ball just a bit high. As we said, umpires today, Bernie Maniac and Dan Butler. Bernie behind the plate. McLean looking to get through this top of the second inning. Pitch is inside and gets away from McCoy. So Kennard now 90 feet closer. But 2 outs. Kearns led off, flew out to center fielder Jace Hampy. Kennard got hit by a pitch, and Assad got caught looking for the second out of the inning. Here's the pitch from McLean. Strike right down the middle of the plate. Martini taking all the way. So we set a non-section game for both teams. Mustangs scheduling this game to honor their seniors, all 7 of them. Pitch inside. So Martini draws the walk. That's the second walk of the day for McLean. Also has a hit batter, and we're going to have a courtesy runner check in for Martini. It's going to be number 5. That's going to be Caden Powell, the sophomore. So courtesy runner Powell checking in for Martini. So 2 outs, runners on the corners for the Trojans. That's going to bring up Chris Weston. Weston, the left fielder today. The freshman batting 190. No home runs and 6 RBIs on the year. First pitch up and in. Weston gets out of the way.
Now batting the left fielder, number 17, Chris Weston.
So Powell as the courtesy runner. Be interesting to see if he takes off. 2 outs. There is a runner at third. Would imagine they're going to probably try to test McCoy, and that was close. Powell barely got back, came in standing. His bench is yelling, you better get down for that one so you don't get picked off, but came in standing. Made a little closer than it probably should have been. There's a pitch from McLean, fouled back. It's going to be out of play. McCoy gives chase, but the ball was outside the field of play. 2 outs. Kennard at third. Courtesy runner Powell at second. I'm sorry, at first. Here's McLean. Pitch, and he fouls it again. Courtesy runner Caden Powell was taking off on the pitch there. Weston trying to protect him. Chased probably a little higher pitch than he wanted to, but fouled it back. So that brings the count now to 1-2. 2 outs. We're in the top of the second. Trojans and Mustangs are tied, and again, McLean trying to keep Powell close. McLean checks both runners. Going to come over again. Not close, Powell. Going to dive back in that time. Looks at his first base coach saying, was that better? About a 4-step lead for Powell. Going to come over again. Powell safely gets back. So he said McLean picked off Pickle to end the first inning and stop a Trojan rally. And there's strike 3. So Weston goes down swinging. So in that inning, there's no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We'll be back with the bottom half of the second inning. It's the California Trojans and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs tied at 1.
In the top of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base.
The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to be live streaming today's Laurel Highlands baseball game. I'd like to thank United Bank, the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown, and agent David Hughes, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, the South Union Township supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Zebly Mahalovan White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, and the UPMC Centers for Rehab Services in Uniontown on Wayland Smith Drive, with Mr. Jim Burns as the director. So the Trojans go down in the top of the second inning, stranding their first 2 runners. New pitcher is going to be Brody Connor. So Connor comes in from first base, and now that's going to put Assad at first. And let's see who we have here. I think Pickle moved to second. Let's see this. What do we have? It's not third base. Looks like Kennard. We made some wholesale changes here, and we're trying to figure out what's going on right now. So we've got Assad at first. You've got Pickle at second. Conti stays at short. The new third baseman is going to be Fred Kennard. Connor now the pitcher. And let's see if we can get some numbers out there. We've got number 1, who's going to be Trunzo, is going to be in left field. Center field remains Jordan Kearns. And now the right fielder, and we're going to try to get a number out here. He turned barely. I'm trying to see exactly who that is. But that might be Connor Vig out there. But we're going to try to figure it out. But leading off the inning for the Mustangs will be Lorenzo McFadden. He'll be followed by Brett Lemansky and Carson Broadwater, the 7, 8, 9 batters for the Mustangs. First pitch from Connor was a ball outside. Here's this pitch to McFadden. Breaking pitch, fouls it off the end of the bat. Nice play there by the Cal coach. Saved Coach D. Berry's life down there. Okay, so here's McFadden. Pitch by Connor, just a bit high. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. McFadden, Lemansky, and Broadwater for the Mustangs. And we'll set the defense for the Trojans here. Right after this, a bat by McFadden. And there's a swing and a miss. So Connor comes in and records his first strikeout. Final numbers on Vig for that first inning. He gave up 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors. He had 1 strikeout and walked 2 batters in that inning. So now Brody Connor to Brett Lemansky. First pitch is a strike. So let's set the infield for the Trojans. Third baseman is Fred Kennard. Shortstop remains Peyton Conti. Now the second baseman is Jacob Pichtel, who moved from third to second. And the first baseman now is Hunter Assad. He moved to first. Connor moved from first to the pitcher's mound here for this second inning. Outfielders are Trunzo in left, Kearns in center, and haven't gotten a number out and right yet, but we'll try to pick that up here before the inning's over. So that pitch to Lemansky, just a bit inside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Brett. Brett the senior going to Penn State Fayette. That's a strike on the inside corner to Brett. So Brody Connor came in relief of Connor Vig. Got a strikeout against the leadoff hitter McFadden. Trying to double that up with a strikeout on Lemansky. Count now 2-2. Pitch just a bit inside. Tough take there by Lemansky, but good eye. So that's going to work the count full. Carson Broadwater waits anxiously on deck. Here's the payoff pitch. There's a shot to left, and it's going to get down the line. Trunzo goes over to retrieve it, but Brett Lemansky with the hit, the second hit of the day today for the Mustangs. So Lemansky on senior day picks up a hit, and that's going to bring up Carson Broadwater with 1 out. Lemansky, a nice piece of hitting there, taking that outside pitch to left field. Nearly got in the corner, but nice job by Matt Trunzo out there and left to corral it and hold Lemansky to a single. So now here's Connor. First pitch to Broadwater, ball 1. Broadwater comes in with no average. No hits this year so far for the senior. 7 seniors on this Mustang team. Broadwater and Lemansky, McFadden, Zach Koffler, Nick Kumar, Jake Fleesar, and I know I'm missing one. Here's the pitch. Lemansky takes off, and he's going to get to second easily. Thought about going to third, but couldn't get up quick enough. Let's go over those seniors again for the Mustangs. Carson Broadwater, Brett Lemansky, Jace Hampy, Jake Fleazar, Nick Kumar, Zach Koffler, and Lorenzo McFadden. So Lemansky with a stolen base gets himself in scoring position. Broadwater now takes the pitch. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the Mustangs again threatening. We're tied at 1. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The California Trojans and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Here's the pitch to Broadwater. Down and away. Martini's still behind the plate. We're still trying to figure out who the right fielder is, but we'll figure this out before it's all over with. Got a bunch of old eyes in this press box. Nobody can really see out there that far. Lemansky takes off, and he's going to make the third easy, and he's going to round it. The ball gets away from Martini. So Lemansky with 2 stolen bases. And now the count full. At 3-2, only 1 out. On top of the order, Jace Hampy waiting on deck. So Brody Connor came in, fanned McFadden. Gave up a hit to Lemansky. Now trying to work on Broadwater, and there's a shot up the middle. And that's going to be a base hit. So Carson Broadwater on senior day drives in his first run of the year. Lemansky scores easily. And Carson Broadwater with the 3rd hit of the day for the Mustangs. More importantly, picks up an RBI. His first of the year. So Brett Lemansky scores easily. Now Jace Hampy coming to bat. Hampy walked his first time up and scored a run. So Broadwater drives in his first run of the year. There's a shot to second baseman Pichtel to Conti. Conti decided better about it. So Hampy reaches on the fielder's choice. And Broadwater is forced out. Pichtel to Conti. 4-6, and that's going to bring up Ty Sankovic. Sankovic singled in that first inning and was stranded at 3rd. Hampy taking off on the first pitch. Martini's throw down. Hampy gets in easily, so a stolen base for Hampy. Another runner in scoring position for the Mustangs. The Mustangs up 2-1. Scoring runs in both innings here so far today. Brody Connor trying to get out of this inning. Fouled off by Sankovic. Sankovic, as we said, batting .400 on the year. No home runs, 11 RBIs, and a nice sophomore year. And the Mustangs, even though they're losing 7 seniors, they're going to have some pretty decent players coming back for them next year. Sankovic being one of them. Connor set. Pitch to Sankovic. Breaking ball taken low. So Sankovic now with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. There's 2 outs. Carson Broadwater at second. There's a shot. It's going to fall in, and it's going to go to the wall. So Sankovic pulls it down the right field line, and he's going to go for 3. Cut off the Pichtel, and there's the throw. But Sankovic easily in with an RBI triple, scoring Broadwater easily. So Sankovic pick up the RBI as well as a triple. So Sankovic now 2 for 2 on the day. As we said, the RBI single. That's going to bring up Nick Kumar. Nick reached on a base on balls that first inning. So Broadwater and Lemansky have scored for the Mustangs so far in this second inning. 3-1. I'm sorry, make that Hampy scored. Pitch taken there by Nick Kumar. Nick trying to pick up his 17th RBI of the year. 2 home runs, 16 RBIs, a .511 average for the Mustangs this year. Here's a pitch from Connor. Outside, and Sankovic is going to try to score. Play at the plate. No, he beats it, so Sankovic showing great hustle on that pass ball. So Sankovic picks up the third run of the inning for the Mustangs. And now Kumar trying to keep the inning alive. There are 2 outs. Mustangs now with a 4-1 lead. Brody Connors pitch to Nick. And Nick, there's a shot down the line, just foul. Didn't miss it by much. Nick a little bit ahead of that pitch. As we said, Nick going to Marietta. Walked the first time up. Alex McLean, the starting pitcher, waiting on deck. There's a foul back by Nick Kumar. So now the count, 2-2, 2 outs. The Mustangs scoring 3 runs so far here in this second inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Connor. Breaking pitch down in the dirt, works the count full. So Kumar waiting for the payoff pitch from Brody Connor. Connor in his first inning of work. There's the pitch. Got called out. So nice pitch there by Brody Connor to catch Nick Kumar looking. So that's the first strikeout. I'm sorry, the second strikeout for Brody Connor in that inning. But more importantly, the Mustangs score 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. So after 2 complete, it's the Mustangs 4 and the California Trojans 1. And we'll be right back for the top of the third inning on the South Union Township Sports Network right after these messages.
Mustangs score 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. After 2, score Laurel Highlands 4, California 1.
The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to live stream today's game. The Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and Agent David Hughes, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist SWGI in Uniontown, Zebly, Mahalovan White, Uniontown's business and bankruptcy attorneys, and the UPMC Centers for Rehab Services in Uniontown on Wayland Smith Drive. Jim Burns is director. So McLean stays in for his third inning of work. He will face the top of the order. Let's see who this would be. I think they subbed for Viggs, so this is going to be Trunzo. So Trunzo batting for Connor Vigg. Trunzo checked in and played left field that last inning. Trunzo comes in with a .357 average on the year, no home runs, 5 RBIs. He's one of the 4 seniors in this group for the Cal Trojans. Here's a pitch from McLean. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Trunzo on deck. His number 20, Peyton Conti. He stayed in at short. It was really the only move that wasn't made defensively last inning. McLean giving up 1 run so far on 1 hit, 2 innings of work for the Mustangs. Here's the pitch. Trunzo swings and misses, and he's going to get down on strike. So Trunzo with the first out of the inning, the 3rd strikeout recorded by Alex McLean, and that's going to bring up Peyton Conti. Conti flew out to center fielder Jace Hampy his first time up. As we said, Conti with stellar numbers on the year. 449 average, 1 home run, 19 RBIs, 13 stolen bases, and just an all-around player. Was actually the Tribune Review Player of the Week a couple weeks ago in Week 3 of the season. His father, head coach at Cal U. And there's a shot to shortstop Nick Kumar. Comes up with it. Nice throw to Koffler. And Conti's going to be recorded out. Shortstop to first base. Nice play by Nick. So Conti with the second out. That's going to bring up Brody Connor. Connor singled the first time up and was forced out on a fielder's choice by Pichtel at second base. Kumar to Chambers. So 1 for 1 on the day. Pitch by McLean. Strike one on the inside corner. Brody Connor, 364 average, 1 home run, 22 RBIs. Pitch down in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. McLean looking to complete his third inning of work. There's a dribbler down the third base line. McLean getting the ball from home plate umpire Bernie Maniak. Sankovic tosses in the foul ball. Good crowd on hand on a beautiful day for baseball. Alex McLean now with a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Connor. And Connor hits it right at Joe Chambers at second base. So a quick inning for the Mustangs as the Trojans go 3 up and 3 down. So after 2.5, it's the Mustangs 4 and the California Trojans 1. And we'll be back for the bottom of the third inning right after these messages on the South Union Township Sports Network. Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. We're going to the bottom of the third inning. Brody Connor stays on the mound for the Trojans. He'll face Alex McLean, Zach Koffler, and Joe Chambers here in the bottom of the third. The Mustangs lead 4-1 in the South Union Township Rec Center. Had a successful golf outing on Saturday. It was a little cold. We saw a little bit of rain, saw a little bit of sleet, saw some sunshine. But all in all, a good day for everybody, and everybody had a good time, and the winning team ended up 11 under par. But I won't throw out any names because their wives might not know they won any money, so I don't want to do that to them. So we're going to go to the bottom of the third inning here. Connor, and let's see if we can track down who the right fielder is. I can't tell now. We're going to try to see who it is, but we'll figure this out. So leading off the bottom of the third will be Alex McLean. McLean struck out his first time up. The only strikeout recorded by Connor Vig in that first inning, in his only inning of work. There's a pitch by Connor right down the middle for strike one. McLean, Koffler, Chambers here for the Mustangs, bottom of 3. There's a pitch from Connor. Just misses on the outside corner, so evens the count up at 1-1. More activity down in the California bullpen. It's going to be number 26. That's Addison Panapinto warming up for the Trojans. And there's a shot right off the glove of Pichtel. McLean with the shot. Pichtel kind of leapt a little bit too soon, but I think we might have to be generous there and give him a hit. So now courtesy runner for McLean. C.J. Gesk, courtesy runner. So Zach Koffler. Koffler was retired on a nice play by Pichtel at third in the first inning. Gesk with a decent lead at first, being held on there by Assad. Guess dives back in. Connor trying to keep him close. Brody Connor, as we said, in for his second inning of work. He came in. Starting pitcher Connor Vig worked the first inning through 13 pitches, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, stranded 2 runners. Gesk is going to take off. He's going to get to second base standing up. So C.J. Gesk with the stolen base. Puts himself in scoring position for Koffler. Koffler, 282 on the year, 1 home run and 13 RBIs. As we said, Koffler's kind of turned it up here over the last couple games for the Mustangs. Swings there and fouls it back. So the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes on Koffler. Nobody out here, bottom of the 3rd inning. Senior day for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. We said the Mustangs on the year 12-5, 9-3 in section play, and that ball is going to be hit to the right fielder who makes a nice play. Can't get a number there, but that's going to move Guest to 3rd as he tags up. So Koffler with the sacrifice fly, and I actually think that might have been Weston out there in right field. So sacrifice fly.
For the Mustangs, number 1,
Zach
Joe
Koffler
Chambers.
flies out to Weston in right. And Joe Chambers coming to bat. Chambers flew out to Assad on a nice play to end the 1st inning. Assad ranged back into the outfield a little bit and made a nice catch on Chambers. Chambers takes the first pitch for a strike. Gesk at 3rd. 1 out here for the Mustangs. Joe Chambers trying to pick up his 12th RBI of the year. Nice block. Martini with a nice block behind the plate. At least I think that's Martini. Can't really tell. So Connor trying to get out of a little bit of jam here. The Mustangs lead 4-1. Swinging a foul down the left field line by Chambers, just a little bit ahead of that pitch. Joe, as we said, pitched a perfect game against the Uniontown Red Raiders earlier this week. As we said, maybe the only perfect game in Laurel Highlands history. Not exactly sure, but can't remember of anybody throwing one. I remember no hitters, but I don't remember anybody throwing a perfect game for the Mustangs before. So Joe might have went in the history books as the first pitcher to throw a perfect game in Mustang history. Here's Connor's pitch. Down and away, and again, nice block behind the plate. That looks like that's number 40 behind the plate. I'm trying to see if I even have any of that, but can't really tell who's back there. Made some wholesale changes last inning and kind of left us in the dark a little bit. So Connor trying to strand courtesy runner Gesk down at 3rd. There's the pitch of Chambers, and Chambers nearly took out Gesk. Luckily, Gesk was in foul territory there. Chambers just a little bit ahead. Has fouled off a couple pitches down the left field line. Joe 0 for 1 today, as we said. Flew out to the second baseman Assad to end the 1st inning. Connor sets and deals. And it's going to be a walk. A nice at bat there by Joe Chambers. The first base on ball issued by Connor. And that's going to bring out the coach. We're going to have a timeout, a little chat at the mound. And he's taking the ball from Connor. So now we're going to have a pitching change, and it looks like it's going to be Addison Panapinto. So Panapinto comes in. Let's see what we're going to do now. We can see some changes again. Let's see what we got and who's going where. So Connor's going to come back out at first base. We see that. Connor's coming at first. Kennard's going to go back to right field. Looks like Trunzo is going to come out of the game.
21 right.
And let's see where everybody's going to land. We know Conti's staying at short. There's no doubt about that. Panapinto now coming in. Panapinto on the season. Let's see if we can get some numbers for him. Comes in. This is going to be his third appearance. He's pitched only 1 2/3 innings of baseball. Gave up 3 hits and 2 runs. Actually has an 8.40 ERA. And recorded 1 strikeout. So Addison Panapinto, the new pitcher for the Cal Trojans. Chambers at first. Gesk at third. And we'll wait to see where everybody scatters here to tell you who's playing where for the Trojans.
New pitcher for the Trojans, Addison Panapinto.
And we know Brody Connor is going to go from the mound back to first. Pichtel is going to go back to third. Assad's going to be at second. Looks like we have the original starting lineup, if I'm correct here. So Pichtel at third, Conti at short. Hunter Assad at second, Brody Connor at first. Panapinto on the mound now. The first pitch to McFadden was a ball outside. McFadden struck out the first time up. McFadden with a shot to left field. Gesk is going to tag, and he's going to score easily. So Lorenzo McFadden with a sacrifice fly is going to pick up his second RBI of the year. And that's going to score Gesk. So now the Mustangs tack on another run and lead 5-1. As we said, McFadden, the senior, with his second RBI of the year.
Number 11, Brett Lemansky, the right fielder.
Brett Lemansky. Lemansky with a single his first time up, a couple stolen bases, and scored easily on the fielder's choice by Hampy. There's a shot to the right field. A nice play out there by the right fielder. Don't have a number, so I can't exactly tell you who it was. We're gonna try. Oh, that's Kennard out there. I'm sorry. So Fred Kennard with a beautiful catch to rob Brett Lemansky, but not before the Mustangs score 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors. 2 men left on base. So after 3 innings of play, it's the Mustangs 5 and the California Trojans 1.
Left on base. After 3 innings, the score, Laurel Highlands 5, California 1.
South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to live stream today's Laurel Highlands baseball game. Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, South Union Township supervisors Rob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. United Bank, the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown, and agent David Hughes. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Zebly Mahalav and White, the Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, and the UPMC Centers for Rehab Services in Uniontown on Wayland Smith Drive. Jim Burns as director. So as we come back, Alex McLean comes out for his 4th inning of work. And the Mustangs, Rodney McLean has done a pretty nice job. Gave up a run in that first inning, but hasn't given up a hit since the first. 1 run on 1 hit for the California Trojans here. This is going to bring up Jacob Pichtel. Pichtel hit into a fielder's choice his first time up and then was picked off first base. So there's the first pitch by McLean, and that's a strike. Pichtel to be followed by Jordan Kearns and Fred Kennard, who made a nice running catch there to end the bottom of the 3rd inning. Robbed Brett Lemansky of extra bases. McLean's pitch skips in front of catcher Tristan McCoy. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Pichtel, a .256 hitter, no home runs and 10 RBIs on the season. Here's McLean's 1-1 pitch. There's a fly ball to center field. Jace Hampy settles under it and makes a nice catch. Hampy, nice looking outfielder for the Mustangs. records the first out. As we said, both of these teams to go into the WPIAL playoffs.
Up next,
California will face Shady Side Academy at 4:30 at Hempfield on Wednesday, May 19th, and Laurel Highlands Mustangs will play at W&J. They'll play Beaver at 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, May 19th. So both of these teams back to the playoffs. Actually, Cal sort of defending their WPL championship. They won it in 19, and there were no champions in 2020. So really, they've been a champ for 2 years. So they're going to go back into the playoffs as the reigning Class 2A champion. The Mustangs made it to the championship game also in 2019, but were beaten by Shaler. Here's McLean's pitch. Just missed down a little bit. California Trojans beat Union High School in the championship in 2019. So, yeah, 2-year champions. And they'll put that back on the line. And there's McLean nailing Kearns. So Kearns hit by a pitch. He's the second player to be hit by a pitch by McLean. Kennard got hit by a pitch in the second inning. So now Kearns at first, 1 out, and that's going to bring up Fred Kennard. Kennard with a, as we said, hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. McLean got him to chase a high fastball there. So Kearns at first. Kearns has 4 stolen bases on the year. We're going to have a little discussion here with McCoy and McLean going over the signals, and I'm not exactly sure why. Runner at first and not at second, so really the signal shouldn't have changed. So Kearns at first. Koffler holding him on. The Mustangs with a 4-run lead. Throw over by McLean. Saved there by Koffler. Almost went down the right field line. Kearns with a decent lead. There's a second pitch to Kennard, and that's going to be a strike. So now McLean quickly ahead, 0-2. 1 out here. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Pichtel flew out to Jace Hampy in center. Kearns hit by a pitch. And a nice pitch there by McLean to get Kennard swinging. So that's going to be the 4th strikeout for Alex McLean. So 2 outs. It's going to bring up Hunter Assad. So Assad was a strikeout victim his first time up in the 2nd inning. McLean misses on the outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. And Kearns with a decent lead. Pitch again outside by McLean, so 2 balls, no strikes to Hunter Assad. A .421 hitter for the junior. No home runs, 17 RBIs on the year. And there's a pickoff attempt again. Kearns gets back safely. McLean, a lot of throwovers here today. Trying to pick off runners. It's ball 3 outside. As we said, California came into this game 51 of 56 in stolen base attempts, so I'm sure Coach DeBerry told him to try to make sure you keep them close. They like to run. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Assad taking all the way. So base on ball for Assad. It's going to put runners at first and second with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up catcher Dom Martini. Martini walked his first time up. So that's 3 walks and 2 hit by pitches for McLean today, and that's going to bring out pitching coach Joe LaPresta. So Joe's going to come out and meet with McLean. Try to talk him off the ledge a little bit, settle him down. So 2 outs, 2 runners on. The Mustangs with a 4-run lead. They're up 5-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Koffler now playing behind the runner. First pitch to Dom Martini is a strike. As we said, Martini walked the first time up. So now runners at first and second. Chambers trying to decoy Kearns back a little bit. Second pitch to Martini was high, so 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Weston waiting on deck. Koffler trying to pick. It was a close play. Tried to sneak in behind Assad, and Assad barely got back. Close play. Nice throw there by McLean, too. Nearly had his second pick off of the game, but Assad just able to get back in time. Now the count 1-2 on the swing and a miss by Martini. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's McLean's pitch. Down in the dirt, and it gets away from McCoy. So the runners both advance. Kearns to third, Assad to second. Brings the count even. 2-2, 2 outs. 2 runners on. We're in the top of the 4th inning. And McLean kind of trying to get through his 4th inning of work. Ball fouled back by Martini. As we said, the Mustangs, seeded number 5, will play at W&J. 2 o'clock on Wednesday against Beaver, who finished 4th in their conference. Strike 3 by McLean. So McLean works out of a jam, strands 2 runners, and picks up his 5th strikeout. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So after 3.5, it's the Mustangs 5 and the California Trojans 1. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th inning right after these messages on the South Union Township Sports Network.
In the top of the 4th for California. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Coming up for the Mustangs in the 4th, we have Carson Broadwater, Jace Hampton, and Ty Sankovic.
Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be the bottom of the order for the Mustangs, Carson Broadwater, followed by leadoff hitter Jace Hampy and Ty Sankovic. Broadwater singled his first time up, drove in Brett Lemansky for his first RBI of the year. So a nice little touch for Carson on senior day. Addison Panapinto back in for his 2nd inning of work. He came in relief of Brody Connor, who walked Joe Chambers, and Panapinto was able to record an out with McFadden on a sacrifice fly to center field, driving in a run, and Brett Lemansky being robbed out in right field by Fred Kennard on a beautiful play. So the Mustangs with a 5-1 lead in Broadwater, trying to improve his average. We got somebody warming up in the Mustangs bullpen, but no protection down there, so somebody's going to have to get on with the glove. First base umpire Dan Butler directing traffic. So Broadwater coming to bat against Panapinto. First pitch is a strike. So Panapinto. It's been Vig, Connor, and Panapinto for the Trojans. Alex McLean with 4 innings of work for the Mustangs, and there's a pop-up by Broadwater. Brody Connor calling everybody off. So Broadwater is going to be retired on the pop out to first baseman Brody Connor. It's going to bring up Jace Hampy. Hampy, 0 for 1 today, scored a run in the first inning after being walked and hit into a fielder's choice. There's a pop up to right. Kennard drifts in and makes the catch. So Hampy with a fly out to right fielder, Fred Kennard. That's going to bring up Ty Sankovic. Sankovic 2 for 2 today. Singled his first time up and tripled. Drove in a run in that second inning for the Mustangs. So Sankovic improving on that 400 average. Driving in his 12th run of the year. There's the pitch from Panapinto. Ball 1. Panapinto working from the stretch. There's the pitch. Just misses on the outside corner to Sankovic. Sankovic playing third today for the Mustangs, a sophomore. So he'll be back for Coach DeBerry next year. Sankovic with a shot, and he's 3 for 3. Beautiful piece of hitting by Sankovic. So he improves that average today. His third hit of the day. So now with 2 outs, that's going to bring up senior Nick Kumar. Kumar walked his first time up and was stranded at second base in that first inning and then got caught looking on a tough pitch. There's a shot again. He almost killed the photographer down the left field line. That guy's out there. I can't figure out what he's doing out there besides dancing a lot. I know that.
He took his stool out.
He's getting his ton of work. They should give him a glove to go along with that camera. He's had a lot of chances here today. So here's the pitch to Kumar, and he's going to give the photographer another shot down there. California better see if they got some extra gloves in there to give this guy. So now 0-2 to Nick. Sankovic at first. Brody Connor holding him. Panapinto with the pitch. And that ball's hit deep to left field. Carrying. Almost out of here. Nice try out there by left fielder Weston. But that's going to bring in a run. Nick Kumar. And I think Weston actually hit his head on the padding out there. Nearly with a beautiful catch. But we're going to have to give Kumar a double there. Weston kind of lost himself out there. Wasn't sure where he was at. And hit the top of the wall with his head. So Nick, with a double, thought he was going to get robbed out there by Nick Weston, but not the case, and that's going to score Sankovic. So now the Mustangs have scored in all 4 innings, and Weston being checked out, and he might have to come out. So Chris Weston with a nice try out there. Actually thought he was going to rob Nick Kumar. Probably did rob him of a home run. The ball did hit his glove as he went, but as he drifted back to the fence, just looked like he hit his head out there. So Kumar now, with his 17th RBI of the year, picks up his first hit of the game. And we're going to have an injury timeout here and a replacement. So Weston checking out. And let's see who the Trojans are going to send in. We'll take a break while the change is made. And we'll be right back on the South Union Township Sports Network for the completion of the 4th inning right after these messages. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsor for making it possible for us to be live streaming the Laurel Highlands game today. United Bank, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law. South Union Township Supervisors Rob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI, in Uniontown. Zebley, Mahalob, and White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. UPMC Centers for Rehab Services in Uniontown on Wayland Smith Drive, and Jim Burns, Director, and the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown, Agent David Hughes. Checking in out in center field is going to be number 10. That's going to be Drew Thomas. So Thomas
Now playing left field, number 10, Drew
checking
Thomas.
in for
Batting for the Mustangs, number 18,
Weston,
Alex
who
McLean.
made a good effort on Nick Kumar's double, but just couldn't bring it in. So he's going to have to check out. And Mustangs tacked on another run, so it makes it 6-1. Kumar's going to take off, and he's going to get the third easily. So now another runner in scoring position for the Mustangs. And Panapinto trying to retire McLean here and get out of this inning. As we said, Panapinto checked in last inning for Brody Connor. There's a pop-up. Looks like Peyton Conti is going to settle under it and makes the catch. So McLean's going to be retired, but not before the Mustangs score one run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. So after 4 complete, it's the Mustangs 6 and the California Trojans 1. And we'll be back for the top of the 5th inning right after these messages on the South Union Township Sports Network.
1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. After 4 innings, the score, Laurel Highlands 6, California 1. Zach, he needs to have some guns. Zach Coffer, tell Nick he needs to have guns like these.
Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. Pitching change for the Mustangs going to be Ty Sankovic coming in for the 5th inning of work. Alex McLean is going to switch positions with Sank, so McLean at third. Sankovic now on the mound.
Now pitching for Laurel Highlands, number 9.
Sankovic comes in.
Sankovic.
Try to get some numbers on him quickly here.
Now in at third base for Laurel Highlands,
Sankovic comes in for his
Alex McLean.
2nd appearance through 1 inning so far. No runs. Retired all 2 batters that he's faced. 3 batters, I'm sorry. So Sankovic coming in, and we'll give you the final numbers on McLean here in a minute. So Drew Thomas will be leading off. Thomas came in when Weston was injured in that last inning. So Sankovic, the sophomore, getting some action here today at the mound. Drew Thomas with his first at bat. Ball down in the dirt. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now batting, left fielder, number 10, Drew Thomas.
Hopefully Weston's okay in there. There's a swing fouled back by Thomas. So the final numbers on Alex McLean: 1 run on 1 hit. He gave up 3 bases on balls and hit 2 batters. The 1 run was earned. So Thomas goes down on strike. So Sankovic records his first strikeout of the game. That's going to bring up Addison Panapinto. Panapinto checking in for Connor Vig earlier in the game. Panapinto, with only his 3rd plate appearance, he's 1 for 1 on the year, and he takes a strike. 3 at bats, 1 hit, couple walks. So Panapinto hits it down to shortstop Nick Kumar. Kumar with the throw. Koffler digs it out. Nice play. Panapinto retired 6-3, so now 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Peyton Conti. Conti 0 for 2 today. Flew out to center fielder Jace Hampy and then grounded out to Nick Kumar his second time up. So Conti looking for his first hit of the day. Facing Sankovic for the first time, and that ball's down and away. So 1 ball, no strikes to Peyton Conti. Waiting on deck, Brody Connor. Conti had to dance out of the way of that one a little bit. Just a bit inside. Here's the pitch. Ball outside. Brody Connor waiting on deck. Here's Sankovic's pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. Sankovic trying to come back on Peyton Conti. Mustangs lead 6-1. We're in the 5th inning. Pitch outside, so Conti works a walk. First walk of the day for Sankovic. Puts Conti at first, brings up Brody Connor. Connor
Up next, number
0 for 4 in his, 1 for 2 in his 2 plate appearances. He singled his first time up. And he lined out to second baseman Joe Chambers, who had him played perfectly. So Conti at first. Conti has 13 stolen bases on the year. There's a shot by Connor. Hampy drifts back and makes the catch. Nice job. Hampy actually made that look pretty easy on a difficult play. And that's going to retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. So after 4.5, it's the Mustangs 6 and the California Trojans 1. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th inning right after these messages on the South Union Township Sports Network.
California, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base.
Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Mustangs lead 6-1. They've scored a run in each of the first 4 innings. Batting for the Mustangs this inning will be Zach Koffler.
Number 24, the first baseman.
He'll be followed by Joe Chambers and Lorenzo McFadden. Koffler grounded out the third baseman. Pickle his first time up and then hit a sacrifice fly to move courtesy runner C.J. Gesk over to third in his second plate appearance. Takes the first pitch from Panapinto for a ball. Panapinto getting the ball thrown back at him from the umpire and the catcher. Took one off the shin. You needed that photographer to come running out to help him out. So here's the 1-0 pitch from Panapinto. Ball down and away. Two balls, no strikes on senior Zach Koffler. Koffler with a swing and a miss. Koffler, one of 7 seniors on this Mustang team. On senior day for the Mustangs. Pitch just missed on the outside corner. Panapinto looking for that call. It was a close pitch, but umpire Bernie Maniak saw it off the plate. So now 3-1 to Koffler. Going to be ball 4. So Panapinto walks Koffler to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. That's going to bring up Joe Chambers. Chambers,
Second baseman, number 1, Joe Chambers.
0 for 1 on the day. Chambers flew out to Assad at second his first time up and walked his second time up. Brody Connor holding Koffler on, but Panapinto gets behind in the count, 1-0 to Chambers. Chambers to be followed by Lorenzo McFadden. There's a shot down to short. Conti goes to second for the force. Assad no chance to record the double play on Chambers hustling down. So fielder's choice for Joe Chambers, and Koffler is going to be retired 6-4.
The designated hitter,
That's going to bring up the
Lorenzo
DH, senior Lorenzo McFadden. McFadden struck out his first time up and then hit a sacrifice fly to score. Courtesy runner C.J. Guest can pick up his second RBI of the year. So McFadden having a good senior day here so far. He'll be followed by Brett Lemansky. Chambers with a decent lead. Panapinto to McFadden inside. Gets out of the way of that one. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Chambers at first. Strike 2 to McFadden. McFadden, as we said, these seniors playing their last game at Tom Lamon Field here at Laurel Highlands. McFadden fouls it off at the end of the bat. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. McFadden stays alive. So we said the Mustangs will play Beaver Wednesday at 2 down at W&J College. And the Cal Trojans will play Shadyside Academy at Hempfield at 4:30 on Thursday. I think I said Wednesday earlier, but it's Thursday date. Panapinto's pitch. Up and away, so McFadden works the count full, 3-2, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. And the Mustangs with a 6-1 lead. Chambers at first. And McFadden works the walk. So Lorenzo McFadden, after getting in the hole on the count, now reaches first base, so only 1 out. Chambers at second. McFadden at first, and here comes Brett Lemansky. Lemansky singled his first time up to left field and then was robbed on a beautiful play by Fred Kennard in right field, his second at bat. Brett singled and scored that first inning. McFadden with a nice lead. Connor playing on the grass, and that ball's going to drop. No. Nice play out there by Drew Thomas in left field. And Lemansky gets robbed again. He's hit the ball good.
He thought it was 3 outs.
Both times. I'm sorry, all 3 times, but only has 1 hit to show for it. Nice play there by Drew Thomas out in left field.
Carson Broadwater.
So now that brings up number 9 hitter Carson Broadwater. Broadwater singled in a run his first time up and then popped out to first baseman Brody Connor his second time up. So Broadwater with 2 runners on and 2 outs. We're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. McFadden, a sizable lead here at first. Ball's going to be down and in. Panapinto, the 3rd pitcher for California today. Chambers and McFadden, the runners on for the Mustangs. Pitch to Broadwater, called a strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs. The Mustangs looking to pad this 5-run lead. There's a strike on the outside corner. Broadwater takes that pitch. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on, and we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Mustangs looking to continue this inning. There's Broadwater with a ball hit to left field. Drew Thomas gets underneath and actually falls down but makes a nice catch. So Broadwater gave that a ride, but he was robbed, so Thomas records the final 2 outs of the 5th inning. So in the 5th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 men left on base for the Mustangs. So after 5 complete, it's the Mustangs 6 and the California Trojans 1. And we'll be right back for the top of the 6th inning right after these messages on the South Union Township Sports Network.
No errors and 2 men left on base. After 5, score remains Laurel Highlands 6, California 1.
Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. We're going to the top of the 6th inning. It's the Mustangs 6 and the Cal Trojans 1. Ty Sankovic on the mound for his 2nd inning of work for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. He came in relief of Alex McLean, who threw 1 run, 1 hit ball for 4 innings for the Mustangs. So Sankovic to face Pichtel, Kearns, and Kennard. First pitch from Sankovic. Called a strike. Pichtel has hit into a fielder's choice his first time up and then flew out to center fielder Jace Hampy. Hampy has 4 putouts in this game for the Mustangs. Done a nice job defensively for them in center field. Pitch from Sankovic, breaking pitch. They're going to appeal it. First base umpire Dan Butler says no swing. So Pichtel now 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a pop fly to right field. Lemansky giving chase, but the ball's going to be foul and out of play. So Pichtel with the count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lemansky gave it a nice effort out there, but that ball just kept tailing out of play. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The Mustangs lead 6-1. There's a dribbler down third. Alex McLean chasing after that. McLean and Sankovic switched positions in the 5th inning when Sankovic came in to pitch for the Mustangs. McLean going to third base. Here's the pitch to Pichtel. And there's a dribbler. It's going to go to Nick Kumar at short. Kumar with the throw. And gets Pichtel. Nick Kumar with a nice play. Retires Pichtel for the first out of the inning. It's a 3rd try for Nick defensively and flawlessly so far. Has 3 assists. That's going to bring up Jordan Kearns. Kearns flew out to Hampy in center field and then was hit by a pitch but was stranded at third base in the 4th inning. Trojans couldn't put any runs across and haven't put a run across since the 1st inning. Pitch from Sankovic outside, so 2-0. As we said, Sankovic in for his 2nd inning of work. He's recorded 1 strikeout, 1 base on balls. You have to give up a hit. There's a pitch high and away. Excuse me, 3 balls, no strikes. Beautiful day for baseball. No doubt in the beautiful senior day here so far for the Mustangs. Trying to pull out a win. Ball's going to be a strike, so 3-1. Kearns to be followed by Fred Kennard. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count now goes to 3-2. 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Outside, so Sankovic walks his second batter of the game. So Kearns reaches first. Koffler is going to hold Kearns. Kind of surprised at that with a 5-run lead. Then again, there's a pickoff attempt there on Kearns, but he gets back safely. As we said, California came in and they like to run. 51 steals in 56 attempts coming into this game. First pitch to Kennard was a ball. Waiting on deck will be Hunter Assad. Kennard hit by a pitch and struck out in his 2 plate appearances here today. Sankovic checking the runner. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Count now goes to 1-2. 1 out. And the Mustangs trying to get out of this inning. There's a shot back up the middle. Nick Kumar to Chambers. Chambers tries to make the turn, but good hustle there by Kennard. So Kearns is going to be retired 6-4 on the fielder's choice. And Kennard is going to trade places with him down at first. So Jordan Kearns retired for the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to bring up Hunter Assad. Assad struck out his first time up, walked his 2nd time up, and he was stranded in that 4th inning. California has left 5 men on base here so far this game. So Assad, the junior second baseman. There's another pickoff attempt, but Kennard back safely. Kennard with a 3-step lead. That makes it 4. Sankovic checking him out, and here's the pitch. There's a pop-up too shallow left field. Diving effort there by Broadwater, but Hampy's going to have to clean it up. Nice try by Broadwater. He had a long way to go to try to get that ball. Couldn't get to it in time, so that's going to be a base hit for Assad. And actually, that's the first hit for California since the 1st inning, whenever Brody Connor singled. So now runners at 1st and 3rd with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up catcher Dom Martini. Martini 0 for 1 today, walked his first time up, struck out his 2nd plate appearance. Catcher Tristan McCoy going over some defensive signals for the Mustangs. Koffler still holding Assad on at first. Here's Sankovic's pitch to Martini, right down the middle of the plate, strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Good effort out there by Carson Broadwater on that hit, but just kind of in no man's land and just fell in. And there's strike 2 to Martini. Martini batting .303 on the year, no home runs, but 11 RBIs for his Trojans. And as we said, the Trojans came in on a 10-game winning streak. Lost 3 of their first 4 to start the season, but haven't lost since then. And we're going to have a play at the plate. Kennard's going to try to score, and he's going to be out. Nice play by Tristan McCoy to get that ball back from the backstop on the wild pitch, and he's going to retire Kennard 2-1. So that ends the inning. So in the 6th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So we'll cut back for the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Mustangs 6 and the California Trojans 1. South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to live stream today's Laurel Highlands baseball game. The UPMC Centers for Rehab Services in Uniontown on Wayland Smith Drive. Jim Burns is director. Zebley, Mahalovan White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. South Union Township Supervisors, Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, United Bank, and the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown, and agent David Hughes. So Panapinto back on the mound for the Trojans. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Leading off for the Mustangs is going to be the top of the order, Jace Hampy. He'll be followed by Ty Sankovic and Nick Kumar. The Mustangs scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. California's lone run came in the top of the first inning. As we said, that hit by Assad is their first hit since the first inning when number 3 hitter Brody Connor singled. So the Mustangs pitching doing a nice job. Alex McLean and Ty Sankovic basically shutting out the Trojans, only giving up 1 run on 2 hits. Should say shutting them down, not shutting them out. Panapinto in again. There's a foul back by Hampy. Hampy 0 for 2, walked his first time up. Hit into a fielder's choice his second time up, and he flew out to right fielder Kennard his third time up. So Hampy now 1 ball, 1 strike. Ty Sankovic 3 for 3 on the day. He's waiting on deck. There's a foul back again by Hampy, giving a couple fans fouling it back into the bleachers. Coach Scotty Deberry at third, Joe LaPresta at first. There's a pitch from Panapinto inside. Evens the count now at 2-2. The Mustangs trying to pick up some momentum, as we said, going into the playoffs next week against Beaver. Ball 3 works the count full, so Hampy trying to get the Mustangs started here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead 6-1. Payoff pitch. The ball's going to be down in the dirt, so Hampy walks for the second time in this game. So Hampy with the lead off, and this is going to bring up the hot hitter of the day for the Mustangs, Ty Sankovic. Sankovic with 2 singles and an RBI triple. He's also scored 2 runs. So Sank looking to go 4 for 4 here. Here's the pitch from Panapinto. Down just a hair, so 1 ball, no strikes to Ty Sankovic. Sankovic 3 for 3 and also pitched 2 good innings so far for the Mustangs. And there's a shot up the middle. Conti, nice catch. Shows his range. Ball was thrown away there, but Hampy had no place to go. Nice play there by Conti to rob Sankovic. So line out to the shortstop, Peyton Conti, and Sankovic now 3 for 4 on the day. So now that brings up Nick Kumar. Kumar walked his first time, struck out looking, and then doubled in Sankovic in that 4th inning when Weston went back to try to rob him of a home run. Actually probably did, but might have concussed himself on top of the fence. There's a pitch from Panapinto on the inside. Waiting on deck, Alex McLean. Panapinto sets and deals. And Kumar with a shot. That ball's going to be gone. Home run, the 3rd of the year for Nick Kumar. Hit it almost in the identical spot that he hit it previously, but this one had enough to carry. So Nick Kumar with 2 RBIs and picks up his 3rd home run of the year. 3 RBIs on the day as well to extend that to 19 for the season. So Nick Kumar puts a jolt into that one and drives in Jace Hampy. So now the Mustangs up 8-1. And that's going to bring up Alex McLean. Braden McKnight now going to bat for McLean. So Nick Kumar, probably his last at bat here at Tom Lamon Field, and he's going to make that one memorable. Hitting his third home run of the year, a 2-run shot to score Jace Hampy, who walked the lead off the inning. So now the Mustangs still with only 1 out. And here's Braden McKnight batting for Alex McLean. McKnight comes in, batting, let's see, 277 on the season. And be followed by Zach Koffler. There's a pitch from Panapinto. Nice play here by Brody Connor. And he's going to beat McKnight to the bag. So he's going to be retired 3 unassisted. That's going to bring up Zach Koffler. Koffler today.
Number 24, the first baseman, Zach Koffler.
1 for 2. Grounding out the third. Flew out to right field and was walked and forced out on a fielder's choice by Joe Chambers in the 5th. Koffler with the cut. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 2 down. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Mustangs have extended their lead to 8-1 on Nick Kumar's 2-run shot. There's a shot down to third baseman. Pichtel stays with it. He's going to try to throw Koffler out, but can't do it. Nice hustle there by Koffler. Regretfully, we're going to have to give Pichtel an error. Koffler's going to reach first.
Number 1, the second baseman,
Joe Chambers coming to bat. Joe Chambers 0 for 2 today. Flew out to second base, walked, and hit into a fielder's choice. There's a pitch from Panapinto up and in. So Koffler reaches on an error. Connor holding him at first. Panapinto checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Fouled back by Joe Chambers. First base umpire Dan Butler directing traffic in the Mustang dugout. Pitch up and in to Chambers. Makes the count now. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Chambers. There's a pop-up to left. Is it going to stay in play? No. Nice hustle there by Drew Thomas in left field to give it a shot, but ball just clears the fence. So Chambers now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Zach Koffler on first. 8 runs for the Mustangs here today. Pitch from Panapinto. Catches him looking, so Joe Chambers goes down looking, but not before the Mustangs score 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 man left on. So after 6 complete, it's the Mustangs 8 and the Cal Trojans 1. The South Union Township Sports Network would like to thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to live stream today's Laurel Highlands Senior Day game. United Bank, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, it's SWGI in Uniontown. Zebley, Mahaloff and White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Davis and Davis Attorneys at Law. United Bank, the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown, and agent David Hughes, and the UPMC Centers for Rehab Services in Uniontown on Wayland Smith Drive. Their director, Mr. Jim Burns. So we head to the top of the 7th inning. The Trojans trailing 8-1. Their last hopes are going to be Dom Martini, Drew Thomas, and then the top of the order, it's going to be Matt Trunzo. Martini was at bat when Fred Kennard tried to score on a wild pitch and was thrown out. McCoy to Sankovic covering the plate in that last inning. Here's a dribbler down to McLean at third. I'm sorry, that's McKnight over there now, so Bray McKnight with the play. So 2 pitches and 1 quick out. Martini retired McKnight to Koffler at first. McLean checked out of the game whenever McKnight pinch hit for him in the last inning. So now there's 1 out. And there's a dribbler down the line. That's going to be number 9. I'm sorry, that was Loudon. Loudon with a base hit, batting in place of Thomas. And Aiden Loudon, the sophomore, with a base hit. So the 3rd hit of the game for the Trojans. And Loudon coming off the bench.
Up next, the pitcher, Addison Panapinto.
So Panapinto going to be batting now. I said Trunzo, sorry about that. So Loudon with a base hit. Let's take a look. That was his first hit of the year. So he's now batting .333. Sankovic misses outside. So 1 out. Martini retired McKnight to Koffler. Loudon with a base hit down the right field line. And now Panapinto takes a strike from Sankovic. Sankovic in for his 3rd inning of work in relief of Alex McLean, who's the pitcher of record right now. Pitch outside. Loudon's going to make it to second base easily. So now with 1 out, the runner in scoring position, a 3-1 count to Addison Panapinto. Peyton Conti waiting on deck. There's a strike to bring the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Panapinto batting with 1 out here, top of the 7th inning. There's a pitch. Koffler makes a nice catch. Drifts to his left. Catches the fly ball from Panapinto. So now 2 outs, and the Trojans' last shot right now is Peyton Conti. Conti 0 for 2. He walked the last time up, flew out to center field and grounded out to Nick Kumar at short. There's a shot. Almost got the photographer again. That guy's had more balls hit to him than anybody on the field today. Should have given him a glove over there, Jer.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a camera. He needs a suit of armor. There's a pitch by Sankovic, and a dribbler. It's going to go foul. So Conti now in the hole at 0-2. Nice play by Sankovic to get off the mound and make sure that ball didn't come back into fair territory. So Loudon at second, 2 outs. The Mustangs leading 8-1. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Conti. And that one's dribbling, and that's going to go foul again, same spot. Conti just kind of knuckleballing that off the end of the bat. Hit it in the same spot. As we said, Conti, fantastic year. The senior, 449, 1 home run, 19 RBIs, 13 stolen bases. And we haven't heard anything, but I'm going to have to guess his dad's recruiting him to go to Cal. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That ball's hit a long way, drifting back. It's Broadwater. That's going to end the game. So the Mustangs pick up a key win in the top of the 7th inning. There were no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So the Laurel Highlands Mustangs with a win, 8-1, and we'll be back to wrap things up right after these messages on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Final score, Laurel Highlands 8, California 1. Good luck to both teams, California and Laurel Highlands, as they go for the WPIAL championships. Hopefully. Good luck next Wednesday, guys.
Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network, where the Laurel Highlands Mustangs have just defeated the Cal Trojans 8-1. Winning pitcher today for the Mustangs is Alex McLean. Losing pitcher will be Brody Connor for the California Trojans. Hitting-wise, the Mustangs held the California Trojans to only 3 hits, one by Brody Connor in the first inning, one by Hunter Assad in the 6th, and another one by Aiden Loudon in that 7th inning. As we said, only 3 hits and 1 run. They stranded 7 runners on base. For the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, they scored 8 runs on 9 hits. They left 8 guys on base. The hitting star for the Mustangs today, Ty Sankovic, 3 for 4 on the day, 2 singles and a triple, an RBI triple. Also, Nick Kumar, with his 3rd home run of the year, he picked up 3 RBIs as well. Lorenzo McFadden with a sacrifice fly for an RBI, and Carson Broadwater also picking up an RBI for the Mustangs. So as we said, the Mustangs pick up a key win and build up a little bit of momentum going into their playoff game on Wednesday against the Beavers at W&J at 2 o'clock. So best of luck to California, who will play Shadyside Academy at Hempfield on Thursday at 4:30. So both teams headed to the playoffs, and we wish them both luck. Tonight's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, Gary Smith and his staff. I'm Tony Anula with Jerry Dupay, and this has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation. Did you need me to do an open again? Huh? That's all right. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. Go ahead. What's that? That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me whatever you want me to do. Okay. Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, bring you the Laurel Highlands Mustangs on the South Union Township Sports Network. Today, via live stream from Thomas Lamon Field, the home of the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, the Mustangs take on the California Trojans. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Hanula with Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for today's high school baseball action. The South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and CUTV with Gary Smith. I'm Tony Hanula with Jerry Dupay, and we will be back with the lineups for both teams right after these messages. Good.